My name is Jessica, and I am currently the most hated person in my family. I am suing my own parents. To them, and to much of my extended family, I am a greedy, ungrateful traitor. Me, I am someone trying to salvage a future that was promised to me, then stolen. The situation is this. When my grandfather passed away 10 years ago, he left a substantial trust for me and my younger brother, Mark, specifically earmarked for education. It was managed by my parents. I have known about this fund my entire life. It was the reason I worked so hard in school, the reason I didn't stress about part-time jobs in high school, the foundation of my plan. I was accepted into a great out-of state university for a pre-med program. I deferred for a year to work as a medical scribe and strengthened my application for a more competitive program. Last month, I sat down with my parents to finally go over the finances for the upcoming semester. I asked for the account statements so I could file my financial aid forms. My mom and dad exchanged a look I will never forget, a mix of guilt and defiance. "Jessica," my dad began, "there's been a change of plans. Mark's tech startup. It was his big break. But he needed a serious infusion of capital 6 months ago to secure a patent and a warehouse. The investors fell through. He was going to lose everything." My heart started to pound. "What does that have to do with my college fund?" "We lent him the money from your fund," my mother said, as if announcing we were having chicken for dinner. "It was an emergency. He's our son. We couldn't let him fail." "Lent or gave?" I asked, my voice shaking. "It's an investment," my father insisted. "When his company takes off, he'll pay it back with interest. You can take a loan for school like everyone else. This is family. We support each other." I felt the room spin. The fund wasn't just for education. It was my grandfather's legacy to me. It was $85,000. I asked if they had used Mark's fund too. He admitted they had, a year prior, for the initial startup costs. So both of our education funds were now sunk into a fledgling app for ordering artisanal pet food. I was furious. They had made this decision without consulting me. They had gambled my secure future on a high-risk business venture. I told them they had to get the money back, immediately, even if it meant pulling it from the business. My father scoffed. "That would bankrupt your brother and destroy his dream. Are you that selfish? Your brother is building something. You're just going to school. You can wait." The fight that followed was catastrophic. They called me materialistic, said I cared more about money than family. My brother called me, screaming that I was trying to ruin his life, that I was a typical privileged brat who didn't understand sacrifice. I packed a bag and moved in with a friend. I consulted a lawyer. Because the trust was designated for education, and I am the beneficiary, the lawyer believes I have a strong case for misuse of funds. Last week, I filed the lawsuit. It is not a symbolic gesture. I am trying to get a court order to freeze the business assets and force the repayment. The fallout has been nuclear. My parents have disowned me. My brother says I am dead to him. My aunts, uncles, and cousins are flooding my phone with messages calling me a monster, a lawsuit-happy witch, and saying I'm tearing the family apart for greed. They say I should have just taken out loans and been a team player. They say family doesn't sue family, but here is my truth. They stole from me. They took a gift from my grandfather and gave it to my brother without my consent. They prioritized his speculative dream over my concrete education. They violated my trust in the deepest way possible. Taking out loans would put me in six-figure debt before medical school even starts, a burden they never had to consider because of Granddad's gift. I feel sick with guilt and rage every day. I cry more than I sleep, but I also know if I back down, I'm telling them their actions were okay, that my future is negotiable, but my brother's isn't. So I have to ask, AITA for suing my parents to recover my college fund after they spent it on my brother's startup without asking me.